Not everything about the Halloween season has to scare you to the point of peeing in your tidy whities or your panty wannies. Lots of things can put you in the Halloween spirit. Brisk breeze and pumpkin spice lattes, falling leaves and warm apple cider bourbon. That's my personal favorite. Serial killers and blood covered demons. Once October hits, anything can bring about the spooky vibes. So, without further ado, here are my top 4 games to play during the Halloween season. Jumping into the list, we're starting off with number 4. That is the Luigi's Mansions games. Pick one, anyone. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. All 3 games have some of the most beautiful and expressive animations in gaming. Special nod to Luigi's Mansion 3. That game is just absolutely gorgeous. I, Not just one of the best looking games on the Switch, just all around a beautiful game in general. The quirky humor and what I call the cartoon spooky atmosphere really makes for one of the best Halloween games for really anybody. Moving on to numero tres, we are going to go back in time quite a bit. Uh, well, it's back in time, then forward in time, like 20 different times. The Resident Evil 1 remake. Uh, the they really took the atmosphere, the tension, the scares of the original, and just cranked it up to 11. Whether anyone wants to admit it or not, graphics are important to games. They're not everything, but they are important. And this game really kind of helped prove that by amping up the realism, the better lighting, improved animation, cleaning up the presentation. Capcom just really breathed new life into the original game and just intensified the scares to new heights. It remains completely faithful to the original while adding new elements like just the absolute terrifying Crimson Heads, which drove me nuts. Just in the grotesque tragedy herself, Lisa Trevor. This game is just a remake classic that really deserves to be in anyone's Halloween playlist. Moving on to number 2. No, that's not a poop joke. Seriously though, how crappy of a person do I have to be to make poop jokes about everyone's number 2 favorite holiday for the rear end of the year? Grow up, people. Grow up. Anyway, this is one of my favorite games of all time, Alan Wake. Set in a beautiful northwest fictional town of Bright Falls, Washington, Alan Wake is a psychological action horror game where renowned author, the one and only Alan Wake himself, has already written the story he is currently living, yet he doesn't remember writing it, and how its supernatural plotline is coming to fruition is a complete mystery. I genuinely cannot express enough just how much I love this game and its world. And with the remaster version on sale semi regularly, a Switch port on the way, and the sequel hitting next year, there's really no better time to lose yourself, Mom Spaghetti, in the world of Alan Wake. Don't act like you didn't think that joke was coming. You knew it. You saw it coming a mile away. And now we are at number 1. This is my top game for Halloween, Costume Quest. This is a game that I have played every single Halloween since it's released. It started off as a tradition with my kids and I, but naturally, as I grew older and they became less interested, it really just became something I kept going for myself. The opening level, it has you wandering around your neighborhood trick or treating. And the catch here is your neighborhood has been secretly invaded by monsters called Grubbins who are trying to steal all the candy from the neighborhood. So you'll go up to a door, you go to trick or treat, you might get candy, or you might get tricked and get a grubbin instead. At that point, it turns into a turn based RPG where you are transformed into the character of whatever costume you're wearing. And then that adds different elements to the battle. You can swap out your costumes throughout the game, find new ones, you find parts. You actually start off, you find a blueprint, and then you have to find the parts to each costume to build it, and then you can use that in your battle. And you can switch them really at will before you go into a battle. The other really cool thing about this is a game from Double Fine, so you really know that it's oozing with just charm and humor. If you're a parent or you just miss that nostalgic feeling from trick or treating when you were a kid, honestly, there really is no better game to play for Halloween. Thank you all so much for taking the time to check out this video. I wanted to keep the list short. There's so many lists out there that everybody does for their favorite Halloween games, and they're like 10, 15 games long, and that's great and all, but for a lot of us, with me especially, like, this is not my job. This is something that I do for fun right now. And I wanted to kind of give a more realistic approach to it. You can't really be expected to go check out 10, 15 games, but four is a more realistic expectation, I think, for the season. But anyways, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And as always, go out there and be the reason someone smiles today.